What is going on, everyone? I made a short video of this, but I'm making a little extended one. Of course, I thought it was necessary, but because I just wanted to explain a little bit about what you might have seen in that video if you did not. So this is just a concept right now, and because I already have this chief that I did for another statue, he's actually going to be going with the Arbiter from now on. But I had this idea in my head, and I've been talking about it for a long time. If you've ever listened to any of my videos, actually listen, I had mentioned this is one of the things I wanted to do. Now, again, it's just a concept, but the concept is the chief standing on the deck with Cortana, and they're looking out the window, and there's a ring in space there, obviously. Everybody knows what that is. Now, the ring's actually 3D. This is just a cheap-ass thing. I'm not a... I've said this a billion times. I'm not a modeler, but I think I can come up with a decent-looking deck window for the statue. The size of it, I don't really think... I mean, if he's in 1/6 scale, that is a huge... that's already 14 inches or a little bit more. I mean, that's very big. And to print it, and to, I'm not saying it's even going to be a curve like this. It's just what I thought of while I was doing it. Or curve. You see what it is. Now, one of the problems I personally have with it, even though I make it, or I'm going to make it, is that I don't really like the idea of having no side. It'll just be like this, like with nothing on the side. I know that's uneven, but again, if anybody's listens to me, this thing is just, all I did was just throw it together real quick to see what it would look like. I don't even know if the ring is going to stay that big. I think it's a good size. It shows that they're actually close to it. I was like, oh, I'll make it smaller, but when I made it smaller, it looked like it just was too, I don't know, in my opinion, when it was any smaller than this, and it just won't look like they're actually close to it. And any bigger, it'd be too big, and it would be, it wouldn't look like they could actually be that close for how. Anyway, so this is like the best size I could come up with. This file can't be manipulated. I just exported it real quick to look. But again, obviously we see it's just a fake, of course it's all fake, but it's like just a little fake ass window that's not really there yet. Now my hope is that when it does happen, because it is going to happen, whether it's just for myself or, if I can make it, my plan is to make it where other people can buy them. I will, have this file and print. My plan is to print in clear resin, which will, that stuff, to get one that doesn't yellow and that's like a really good one that I can rely on. It's not cheap. Now I'd probably just print the whole damn thing out of it and then just tape it off and spray that. You know what I'm saying? I just think making it two pieces, you're asking for trouble when you don't need it. But so, yeah, so this is the idea. Hopefully it'll come true. If I was only a company, right, I could do this. I can work on something like this more time and make something cool. I just feel like, I know you guys see a lot of my work, but you have no idea. I have like a million things I think of. But really, to make it come true, like to make it is, it's a lot of work that I can't do. Don't know how to do it. Don't have the resources for it. Which is why I appreciate every donation I get. It's awesome. Or anybody that joins my Patreon, that's another way of helping out. It's $10 a month. If you would like to subscribe there, I'm probably going to, as I do more custom work like this, go get back to documenting like what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, But as far as this goes right now, yeah, it's a very difficult for me to figure out how big to make this. I would love for it to be, like I said, I would love for him to be 6 scale, but I almost think that's gonna be too big. I think at 12 scale he'll be still like he'll only be like 7 inches tall, which is, mean, that's not that bad. You know, you got to think who's going to have room to display something like that. If he was 7 inches tall, think about it like this. I guess this is how I try to make stuff where people can actually have room to put it somewhere. So if he was 7 inches, you got to think this thing's going to be like 14 inches. Like just if you laid him down and kind of tumble him over, it might even be bigger than that. And if I move this closer, then I'm going to have to shrink it. I haven't gotten that far, obviously. This isn't the only size and distance it can be to get the same effect. But again, when I show it, when you look at it like this is how I look at it when I'm working on it, and I feel like this is the most realistic, size that I can make it to where it looks, like I said, like they're just, they're not like on top of it, but they just got there, and that's what they see. I don't want to put it too close, and I don't know what it's gonna look like. Honestly, this is a file, but it may not be the final file. It really depends if I can find one that has all like the detail in the land. Of course, I would use that. Then I just have to paint it up instead of making up what it looks like. But still, anyway, hopefully you think it's cool. I mean, I do. I don't see why any Halo fan wouldn't think it was cool. The only thing, like I said, bringing it to life is going to be a challenge. I don't have the time right now. But somehow I do run a lot of test prints, so I'm just like, eh. I will say this, and this is a fact. Like, you can find science, like sci-fi buildings or stuff like this, like inside of ships with windows. You can if you know where to look. I don't. I did. I'll find it. I don't think I'll have a problem finding it. I used to look through other shits. How I got the floor that looks like a Forerunner flooring. I found it in one of those and bought it because I thought it was so convincing as a Forerunner floor, and so. Again, I actually do have some inside of spaceships and stuff, but they don't have a window, and so it wouldn't really work here. And they're very complex, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have a good time printing due to all the pipes and stuff that's on it. And they weren't really made for printing. They're made for people who are doing like animations or builds in 3D that are for printing. So, but again, I'm sure I can find something, because it's just going to be simple wall. Something like at the end of Halo 4 when he's, it's Halo 5 when he's looking out the, no, it is Halo 4. Isn't it? Yeah, when he's looking out the window at the end by himself. That's the idea of it. I think the pose is pretty good. He's like, I think so. It was really, honestly, a very, very challenging to pose the chief when he's not with a gun, when he's just standing there. We can look at him. Let me just turn this around. He's kind of standing there. I may give him a fist. I'm not sure. It always looks different on the phone. Now the ring's in the way. I can't really do much about it because it's one file. But, that's how he looks. It looks like he's missing an arm, but it's not. It's pretty good. He's kind of just chilling. I don't know how else he would stand. I was like, I had his legs straight, and then it just didn't look right. It looked like ridiculous. But it's hard to get a good view of him with that stupid wall in the way. But I don't think it's too bad. He always looks stumpy on the phone, but he's really not, I promise. It's just like a weird transfer. Like when I look at him on the screen here, he looks tall, but like here he looks kind of, his legs look short, but they're really not. But again, I think it's a pretty good pose. I mean, obviously I got to go in there and flat. I think his palm is pretty flat. What I was thinking of doing is putting a stick under her feet, something little that's clear as well. Like when I make her and put a hole in his hand, like try to come up with something so that she's not on his hand, because I think she should be floating like a little tiny bit. Maybe would it really be the bomb if I could get a blue light and put it under her. But as far as printing her, I have a lighter blue resin, and then I found this. I have dye, and it was so nice. It would look so good on her, but I have to dye a whole lot just to print her, because you have to put a lot in the vat. Can't just put enough for her. Still, it'd be nice maybe if I could. You know what? I might be able to do that, Boolean her as a mold and then fill in the resin, but I couldn't cure it when it's inside there. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not even gonna think about that stuff. I'll probably just print her like I did all the other ones as a just blue resin. I don't want to use the wrong blue. I'm not just gonna use blue because I have blue. there's a better look at it, kind of. As far as how tall she is, I try to look at all the videos I could, and she's actually pretty tall every time she appears. I think in the game we think she's like this tall, but at the end of Halo 3, she's pretty damn big on the little console. She was pretty big. So I was trying to, I'm not saying she's gonna stay this size, but she likely will. I think it's a good size. I don't want to make her small, and then she's just like, I like that she stands out. So whatever. Anyway, so yeah, there it is again. Just one last look how it's looking. I really hope I can pull this one off. It would be amazing, to make something this cool. So anyway, don't forget to like, follow, share, and join my Patreon. And if you're looking to buy anything, let me know. And peace.